ሌላ አፕዴት ሼር የሚያደርገ how was your past week? ምን ሰራችሁ? እንዴት ነበር? ስለዚህ ያው ዝምታ መስማማት ነው በሚለው ጥሩ ነበር በሚለው ይሻላል። let's start የዚህን ዊክ ደግሞ as you know ዊክ ባይ ዊክ አዲስ ቻሌንጅ አለን። አስበን ሰጀስት አድርጎ ነበረ 2 ዊክ እንዲሆን ግን for now we didn't do that። ስለዚህ የኔክስት ቀጣይ ቻሌንጁ የሚሆነው 1 ዊክ ቻሌንጅ ነው። so let me start with it. ይታያል ይታያል። እሺ ስለዚህ መጀመሪያ ላይ let's have a scenario that needs this portfolio management. That means you have done so many time series analysis so far, and now we are coming back to time series analysis plus the portfolio management and optimization. When you say about portfolio optimization, how you can manage your resource effectively to maximize return and minimize the risk. In order to do that, let's say you have a scenario where like you have a day-to-day scenario where you have to carry your bag from home to office, and for that you have allowed to have limited items in your backpack. That means you have your lunch or snack or water, plus if it is sunny season you need to add a jacket, or if it's a rainy or heavy jacket. So how do you prioritize based on the situation that you have? How do you prioritize like packing your backpack? That means you are expected to optimize between which one to have for now. What's the necessary thing? Basically, as we know, you have to have your snack or your lunch. That makes you happy plus energetic, but you cannot take the whole lunch in your backpack. Like if you have a like 10 to 15 injera, so you cannot take that one. So it may be too much to eat, or you may feel get tired by eating those all things, but at the same time you need to eat. Then in terms of the water, still water is necessary, so you need to have at least sufficient amount that keeps you awake during the daytime, so you need to bring that one with you. And about the jackets, most of the time you may need on the daytime, most of the time you may lose. So how are you going to optimize these things in terms of the portfolio optimization? How do you carry this in your bag? That means if the situations allows you to have more snack or more meal for the daytime and small water, so you will choose that one. Or if it is a rainy season, so you need jacket, you will add the jacket and reduce the things that you have in your backpack. So to balance between this, since you are carrying it every day, you need to find the optimal way, like how much, or your lunchbox size, or water bottle size, or your blanket, or you need to broad jacket, or which one do you want based on the things that you have. And the situations, the situations that you go to optimize this, the same will be applied to time series forecasting or for investor who wants to buy a certain stock or a certain bond or anything that is converted into money. They need to have minimal risk, because if you have more meal or snack in your backpack and it doesn't have water, that's risky. Or if you have more water and without snack, that's also risky. And if it rains and you don't have a jacket, that becomes risky for you. So to balance that, to optimize this thing, you need to find the optimal solution. What did you say? This, yeah, multi-objective optimization, but in terms of maximizing your profits against minimizing the risk. That means you can invest on 3 bonds or 3 things at the same time, but how much do you spend for that one? How much do you spend to buy a bond or to buy a stock, a variable stock with high risk, or to buy a bond which have a stable outcome? Just you can think of it like saving money in the bank. So how do you do that one, or which one do you recommend for your customer? So based on that, today's objective is the company is Guide Me in Finance Investment LLC, and they want you to guide them or a financial advisory for their clients, like personalized portfolio management, using this technology plus data-driven insight. So you should have to build this investment strategy for someone who wants to buy by integrating this time series forecasting and predicting the market trend, optimizing the asset allocation, plus enhancing the portfolio performance. So the company goal is basically to achieve this financial objective by minimizing risk and capitalizing this market opportunity based on the market demand or the market opportunity. You minimize the risks that someone have in the coming 3 to 4 years. And based on this, as a financial analyst, you are expected to do a financial forecasting on the historic financial time series forecasting on historical data, plus predicting the future and checking to enhance the portfolio management strategy. That means you have historical data which is available on Y-Finance, and you need to download for the 3 scenarios that we have selected here, and you need to analyze them in terms of the seasonality or any trend or any pattern in the historical data shown. So you need to identify that one. Plus, you need to forecast for the future. Then what's the expected return? Like if I invest on this specific bond or in specific stock, how much return do I have per day, per annual? What's my return? And based on that return, how can you optimize the portfolio using certain methodology like Sharpe ratio or any other methodology? So basically what you are going to do this week is to utilize the Y-Finance data, which we have as a reliable historical financial data, and you can download those data into yours. Then pre-processing, as usual, you need to develop and evaluating to forecast the future market movement. Then you have to use this insight and recommend the change in the client's portfolio, plus the aim to optimize the return while managing the risk. So in order to accomplish this, we have a data from the Y Finance. The first asset is the Tesla stock price. So it have this open, high, low, closed data columns, so volume and volatile columns. So you can use this, like you can assume Tesla stock price is a kind of high risk and high return investment. And this Vanguard total bond market, or this one is as considered as a small, a low risk, not low risk, but medium risk. And the next is a low risk, which is the SP 500 data, and the data should be collected from January 2015 to December 31st, 2024. And so domain specification, Tesla have high growth and high risk. And in the sector is the automobile manufacturing, and this bond data, US investment credit bonds, so somehow stable and it have some income. And this SPY have, I think, it's a bond that's have exchange a fixed income in terms of income, but it's aggregated bond market on US market. So we have these three things to use. And in terms of portfolio analysis, Tesla provides high volume of return and high volatility. And this bond, the Vanguard bond data will have like contribute to the stability to low risk, and Spicy offers a diversified and moderate risk market response. So we have this as an initial data set. So as you go through deep to this challenge, you are expected to do this time series forecasting and experience in handling financial data through Y Finance, and ability to develop and deploy predictive models, plus skills in portfolio optimization using the forecasted insight. So these are the main outcomes. So when we go to the task-specific explanation, we have task one, the task where you need to load and clean the data. So basically, Y Finance, we have stated you can download that from Y Finance. So you can use a Y Finance data and or explore that one, pre-process it, handling missing values, and conducting this exploratory analysis on the financial data, plus the seasonality and trends. There are some things that can be added here, but you can check for the volatility and the value of risk, measuring potential loss or in the given confidence. And it have been stated, so step by step you need to commit this one. Then after that, the next step is developing this time series forecasting model. That means using the last week's models, or you can add the seasonal ARIM or auto-regressive model that's for moving average, and you can use the LSTM or any of the models that can capture this recurrent occurring events in your datasets, then you can forecast for the future based on the one you have. And for the future, you can have at least 1 year forecast, since the data have day by day record. So we will need to forecast the next day, the next year for 2025. Then based on that, you can optimize the model parameter based on the parameters that it allows. If you use this ARMA as the example, we have their P and Q and T parameters, and these are necessary parameters when checking this univariant analysis without seasonality. So you can check more on it. Then the evaluation metrics, you have the mean absolute error or any evaluation metrics you can use for that one. That will be enough. Then the next step is task 3, which is the future market trend analysis. So basically, when you train a model and after testing, you need to predict for the future. So we have your future prediction for the 3 data sets and for the next 12 months. That means for 1 year. So we have collected until 2024. You need to predict until 2025. So having that financial analysis, financial forecast data, you can go deeper into analyzing the forecast by visualizing and checking what confidence interval that is up and its margin. And you can interpret that in terms of trend and volatility or risk or market opportunity. Then you have a certain forecast. So for that forecast, the next task will be optimizing the portfolio. So now we have come to the actual task that this week is specific for. So you need to do the informed decision in terms of optimizing this forecast result that you have earlier. So basically, you have these 3 data sets. For 3 of the data sets, you have future forecast for 1 year. And now you have to do that. How do you can compute the annual return? That means if it's collected daily, what's the annual average return for this one? And how can you interpret it in terms of annual return and the covariance matrix and the standard deviation? This is much more of the statistical aspect of it, plus what's your portfolio weight, in what range do you play with this 3 data sets, since let's say Tesla is high risk and highly volatile, so we need to assign if you need to add to have a weight for that, you can assign like a weight which is equal to everything, or 30, 40, 40, or 40, 30, 30%, or you can have equal weight for each of the things, the data sets. And for those, based on that weight, you can multiply the weight with respect to the average risk in terms to assess this volatility, and use these weights to maximize the Sharpe ratio. So when we say Sharpe ratio, which measures the risk, and based on that you can adjust. If you have like defining the initial weight is your initial strategy, but the more high Sharpe ratio you have, the more desirable investment that you have to make. So this is the thing. If you didn't have high Sharpe ratio, like that's below like 50% or below 45%, it's a bit risky to invest on that thing. So better to invest on high Sharpe ratio things or investments. So how can you adjust your Sharpe ratio? You can, based on the difference between the return of the investment you have made on, let's say you have a higher return investment on Tesla stock and the risk-free rate. What do you recommend the risk-free rate? Like, since these have high risk, so the actual recommended point is 1%. So you can use that one, or you can define your own risk-free rate. Then you can divide this one by the actual return standard deviation. So based on that, the Sharpe ratio will be determined, and how much that the investors receive in terms of this extra volatility, or how you are assess this risk. So you have to model in a way that it can be adjustable. Like if you change certain weights, you will get a certain amount of profile. So based on that, you would recommend that investor to invest more on specifically to one or two things. Or you didn't recommend any of the things based on your finding. That's this week task. So we have 2 tutorials on how you can use this time series portfolio optimization and comparing those models for the time series optimization. And then, as usual, we have 2 submissions, like the first is interim, the next is final submission. If you have any question, you are welcome. Any question? ግልጽ ነው? ስለዚህ በዚህ ዊክ ሞር ኦር ለስ የምንፈልገው ኦፕቲማይዝድ የሆነ ማርኬት አናሊሲስ ቤዝድ ኦን ዘ ፎርካስት ፎር ዘ ኔክስት 12 months። ያ ማለት ዘ ኔክስት 12 months እንዲህ አይነት ማርኬት አለ ዴይሊ ቤዝድ ኦን ለሶስቱ ኤሪያዎች the bond ወይም the stock or the government bond። So የትኛውን እንግዛ? At the end of this process የትኛውን መግዛት አለበት አንድ ኢንቨስተር? and አንዱን ቢገዛ ምን አይነት ነው expected return? and ምንድነው ለሱ ደግሞ ያለው ኦፕቲማይዝድ የሆነ ዌይት ያንን ለማግኘት። ሁለቱን ነገሮች እያንዳንዱን የሚሄድበትን ወይዘር አንደኛውን የቴስላን ኦር የገቨርንመንት ቦንዱን ኦር መልቲፕል ስቶኮቹን ብንጠቀም የፖርትፎሊዮን ቮላታይሊቲን የሚያሳየናል ፕላስ የፖርትፎሊዮን ሪተርን as well as your next forecast, like the next 2-3 years ምንድነው ፎርካስታችሁ ለዴታ። ሶ ያንን ይነግረናል። ቤዝድ ኦን እሱ ዴታ ድሪቭን የሆነ ዲሲሽን መውሰድ ይቻላል። ስለዚህ ኢን ተርምስ ኦፍ ኦፕቲማይዜሽን የተለያዩ ኦፕቲማይዜሽን ቴክኒኮችን መጠቀም ይቻላል። ግን ፎር ናው ዊ ሪኮመንድ ቱ ዩዝ the Sharpe ratio. And for model building ያሉትን ወይም ነሰሰሪ ናቸው ብለን ያመናቸው ዳውቶር ግሬትስ ሞዴል እና ሲዝናል ዳውቶር ግሬትስ ሞዴል ኦር ኤልኤስቲኤም ናቸው። ከሶስቱ በአንዱ ኔክስት ፎርካስት ማድረግ ይቻላል። ስለዚህ ሪስኩን ኢንተርምስ ኦፍ በዚህ ኮንፊደንሻሊቲ ሬት ወይም 95% ኮንፊደንስ ነን ስንል በ95% ዴይሊ ያለውን ሪስክ ማሳየት ፕላስ ፖርትፎሊዮ ይሄ ምንድነው የሚባለው ሪተርን ኤክስፔክትድ ሪተርን እሱን ካወቅን አትሊስት ስታንዳርድ ዲቪዬሽኑን ማወቅ ደን ሻርፕ ሬሽዮ አንድ ስቴፕ ያስኬደናል። ስለዚህ ሻርፕ ሬሽዮን እሱን ስለሚወስድ ማለት ነው። ኮቫሪያንስ ሜትሪክሱ ምን ያክል ቫሪ ያደርጋል የሚለውን ቫሪያንስ ሜዥር እንወስዳለን። ያኛውን ይዘን ኢን ተርምስ ኦፍ ዲስ ፐርሰንት ቮላታይል ነው፣ ዲስ ፐርሰንት ደግሞ ሻርፕ ሬሽዮ አለው which becomes easy for the investor to invest. ጥያቄ ካለ መጠየቅ ይቻላል። ግልጽ ነው አትሊስት what to do። ስለዚህ ሁላችንም ግልጽ ነን፣ ምንሰራውን እናውቃለን ወይም what to expect እናውቃለን። ሶ you can go for it ማለት ነው። if so እዚህ ጋር አፕ ማድረግ እንችላለን። እሺ ያማኔል
እንትን ነበር ላይክ ፌች ስናደርግ ዳታውን ማለት ነው ከጃንዋሪ 2015 እስከ ዲሴምበር 31 ነው 2024 ግን ላይክ ዲሴምበር ትንሽ እንትን አይልም ወይስ እንዴት ነው የምናደርገው? ላይክ ፕሬዲክት የምናደርገው
ምን ይሆናል
ማለት ቀኑ ነው ማለት ነው። ላይክ አሁን ያለነው ኖቬምበር ላይ አይደል ያለነው?
2024 ነው።
አዎ
ኦኬ ሶ that's ትንሽ I thought 2023 actually እስከ ኦክቶበር I think this fixes it that ሌላ ጥያቄ ግልጽ ያልሆነ ነገር ካለ let's fix ይባልና ግልጽ ነው ምን መሰራት እንዳለበት። ሊስት ዶክመንቱ ደርሷቸዋል አይደል? ኦኬ ስለዚህ እዚህ ጋር እንትን እንበለው ኢፍ ዩ ሃቭ ኤኒ ኩዌስችን ኦር ኤኒ ግልጽ ያልሆነ ነገር ካለ ፒንግ አድርጉኝ፣ ወይም ስታንዳፕ ላይም ዛሬ ከሰዓት ሴሽን አለ እዛ ላይ ማውራት እንችላለን። Okay, thank you everyone for joining.